Podcast with Rich Keefe. It's the DORK. Podcast Ryan Davey. It's the DORK. Podcast. Hashtag. It's the hashtag DORK Podcast.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Hashtag Dork. My name is Rich Keefe, joined as always by Davey Eyeballs. He is Ronald Von Donald. All hail the king of ginger ale. It's Ryan Davey. Davey, how are you?
I'm great. I'm coming off a great weekend, Rich, which I saw the musical Talent Zed on Friday night, which was an experience. I'd never done like an EDM show before, and I will tell you this, and I say this lovingly, I will never do it again.
Yeah, I can tell you right from the outs, it's not for me.
Well, it's not that. Like that's why I say lovingly, because the music experience and the lights were very awesome. But to shoot that with a camera when lasers are shooting in your face, not ideal.
No, I
you know what you don't want as a camera person. You know what you don't want?
What's that?
Lights shooting directly at you.
Got it. Yeah,
eye level.
Yep.
Makes sense. So, but the music was good. Entertainment was top notch. So I have no complaints there. Then on Saturday night, I got to shoot Spirit Box, which is a band I've never really heard of before, but they were very good.
Okay.
Gojira, which was fucking incredible.
They go hard, right?
Oh, they go so hard. And you might have seen them at the Olympics when they were doing the thing on the Bastille. Like,
with
that's
Marie
their whole show,
right? That's them.
And another photographer had a decibel counter in the pit, and they hit 131.
Okay.
Which I know you're like, that sounds loud. You want to know how loud that is?
How loud is that?
By comparison, that's standing 50 feet away from an aircraft carrier, like landing zone. Like the tarmac on an aircraft carrier, or standing directly next to a jackhammer with no ear relief.
Sweet.
So there was that. And then your boys, Korn.
One of the great American bands of all time, rocking the shit out of it now for 3 decades straight.
3 decades, 30-year anniversary tour. And I got to tell you, there are bands who are 30 years plus who have lost the step. These men have not.
Amazing.
And I showed you the set list. It was just heater after heater.
Holy smokes. It was a hit parade. It was just nonstop playing hits. And it was old stuff. Cause I know they've had like a bunch of albums that I stopped really kind of listening to. Like their first 4 all came out right before high school and during high school. And I remember they got a lot of spins. They got a lot of spins.
I remember, and when Issues came out, remember they had 4 different covers?
Yeah.
And you got one and I got another. We got like 2 different ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the one with like the voodoo doll kind of thing on it.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
I think the first 3 albums might be damn near perfect. Like those are just awesome to like listen all the way through. But that's sick. You got to see those guys, and you Jonathan Davis just crushing it.
Oh, and you know what? I'm sitting there taking photos of this whole thing. You know what the most remarkable? It's like a member of the band is that H.R. Giger mic stand that he has.
Yeah, looks like a
that,
lady.
like he built for him.
Yeah,
the late H.R. Geek, and that thing is impressive in real life. Not like the Mona Lisa, but you see that thing, and it is like it's a little dinged up. It's a little, but it's like it adds to it a little bit.
Yeah,
you know, it was fucking awesome.
Those guys are cool as hell.
Yeah,
that's great.
It did Twist. You would have loved it.
Twist is good. Well, Blind's now the new show open for Jones and Keefe. We come out swinging with Blind. You can't not be ready to go for the show when Blind comes on. That's awesome.
Josh and the Clark, I will tell you, Gojira's fireballs were better than Zed's lasers. I'll tell you that.
Oh, really? You can make sense of that.
Laser beam! It's better than fireballs, you pussy!
Love it. Love that. Well, we got a heck of a double dork in store for you tonight, so let's get into this.
This week in Dork. Yeah.
We got our new trailer for Thunderbolts. This is the like Suicide Squad of Marvel. We've known who the cast is. We've even seen like a teaser. This was like a full-on like 3-minute trailer. The movie comes out May 2nd. I'll tell you, there's a scene in here where they're all kind of like fighting each other. It looks like it's going to be pretty sweet. I'm actually more excited for this movie now than I was yesterday.
I am now too, because I love Florence Pugh. I celebrate her entire catalog. I think she's just cute as a button and funny.
Pew, pew.
Her and David Harbour are funny together.
Yes.
And yeah, that scene, and I love they revamped Taskmaster a little bit. The mask is different. It's not as like a robot now. It actually looks like the Taskmaster mask, which is great. And I love Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, Ghost. I think they could use that'll be good. I think this is definitely going to be a Florence Pugh movie. This seems like she's going to be the lead. She's going to be badass. You also get what's his name as U.S. agent. You're going to get Winter Soldier. You're going to get Elaine's character.
Yeah, but you also get, so one of the things that I didn't see before, you actually are getting and is it Bill Pullman's kid? So like oh
yeah, who's that? Bob?
Yeah, Bob. So Bob from Lewis Pullman. Yeah, Bill Pullman's son.
That's Lou
Lewis
Pullman? Oh,
That's
shit.
Lou Pullman. Is playing what we now know is Sentry.
Okay.
Which was going to be like, if those of you know in the know, Sentry is like if Superman were like schizophrenic and you don't know who you were going to get, that's Sentry. Like good or bad. So
yeah. It looks pretty fun.
It's going to be tits.
It's going to be, it could be. I'm looking forward to this now. The MCU.
The mutts nuts.
Yeah. What do you think the asterisk means at the end of Thunderbolts? So the title of the movie is Thunderbolts with a little asterisk by the end.
I don't know.
I don't know if that's going to be some shit like, are we going to find out they're different versions? Like they're not Earth 616 or like some horse shit. Yeah.
They're not the real Thunderbolts.
Yeah. Something.
Okay. So hang on. What likely means Thunderbolts as an asterisk to the title, which might, is it a
spoiler? Don't read it if it's a spoiler.
I'm not reading it. It's like hinting at.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Well, tune in to find out. So I assume Thunderbolt Ross will be in this too, right? Harrison Ford.
You think so? But so maybe it's like, they're not really the Thunderbolts. Like there's someone else who's the Thunderbolts.
Shit, I don't know. Body switch movie. We'll see. We'll have to watch. Right. This is DC news. Kyle Chandler, Coach Taylor, is in talks to play Hal Jordan in DC Lantern's HBO series.
I'm into that.
He'd be a good Hal Jordan, I think.
Like an older Hal Jordan who's like not doing it so much anymore.
Yeah,
that would be great.
Although I wonder how, like, do you think he can play funny? Not that Hal Jordan's like a Stitch, but I feel like there's some, like, you don't have to go Ryan Reynolds, Hal Jordan for the Green Lantern movie, but you can go a little bit less comedy, but I think it's still humor. He's humorous.
And he's also not Barry, the Flash Barry.
No, you don't have to go that way. You don't have to go that far either. But yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with that DC Lantern show for sure. Lantern, the Green Lantern from season 3 is back. I haven't watched it yet. I need to figure out this MGM Plus thing. I guess I'm gonna have to get this. It's like it's gonna run all the way through November, like now through November. But this show kicks ass, and everybody that's watched it, everybody that has listened to the pick of the pods, that is all come back and been like, good recommendation. Thanks for Caesars. Thanks for From. So you can give that a rip. We got a teaser trailer or actually, it was more of a behind the scenes look at season 2 of Wednesday, which will come to Netflix 2025. This was one of the surprise shows from a year or two ago. Pretty good. You liked Wednesday?
Yes.
Yeah. Ryan, did you see the trailer for Sweet Pea?
I did.
Oh shit!
This looks all right.
This looks great.
Yeah.
I don't have stars though. Another goddamn.
That's another thing. But even like stars, like I think Amazon like owns stars now because it's part of like Prime, but it's like an add-on.
The fuck?
Like, what the hell?
Come on.
Did you see that? I think I read somewhere that the Hulu, Disney Plus Max deal is going through.
Yeah, I saw something pop up on the old Instagram at DORK Podcast or at Rich Keefe WEEI, and it was there's 2 different bundles. It was like Netflix and Max, and then it was like Hulu, Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, but like all of that for like $20. And I'm like, what's the catch?
Yeah, they'll jack it up. That's for the first year. Then it's $60 the year after that.
Jack it up and they'll jack it off. But they'll also what they won't do. It's probably also with ads too. Like right now, I have most of mine without ads, and that would be a kick in the balls.
The only one I have without ads is Max right now, and that's well worth it.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that a little bit later. But
Max, yeah. No, but anyway, the Sweet Pea show is her name Ella Parnell? Is that what it is?
I think
it's
so.
So
she was in Fallout. She's in Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, the star of Fallout, and then like one of the season 1 stars of Yellow Jackets. She plays like a killer, and it's like she's going through and she's just like thinking in her head, like, this guy's a piece of shit. I'm gonna fucking come back and kill him. And I'm like, this looks awesome. And this girl crushes it. Like, those 2 shows are 2 of my favorite shows. So I'm gonna give somehow, some way, I'm gonna give Sweet Pea a shot. The trailer came out and the show comes out October 10th. So it's right around the corner here.
How about that? Ella Purnell,
Ella Purnell, very good. Reports out there on Twitter that we might get a sequel to Ready or Not.
I saw that, and what's her name? Samara
Weaving.
She was like in. Like they asked her if she would ever do it. She's like, absolutely.
That movie is awesome.
And it's like what I love about it is it's like Clue, but
a killing machine.
Super violence.
Violent. Good comedy. Good premise. I was talking to Nick, our producer on Jones and Keefe, and he hadn't seen it before, and he just watched it this weekend. It's on Tubi now. Tubi's got everything. If you're looking for a horror movie, check out fucking Tubi. It's free. It's for me. And yeah, but he really enjoyed it. He's like, it reminded him a little bit of You're Next, which is also a great horror movie. Yeah, I highly recommend Ready or Not. That'd be a good rewatch too, especially if they definitely greenlight this sequel.
Absolutely.
Saturday Night Live tweeted out their next 5 host musical guest combinations starting this Saturday with Gene Smart and Jelly Roll. Not bad. Then you get
Gene Smart. Indifferent to Jelly Roll.
Nate Bargatze and Coldplay.
Nate Bargatze, the last time he was on, there were 2 sketches which might have been the funniest ones of the season. Okay. Did you see when he was on?
Probably
the one where it was like the soul food cook-off thing.
Yes. Yeah.
And every time he's like, "I'm sorry."
Yeah.
Whose dish is this? This is amazing. I'm really sorry.
Then you got Ariana Grande and Stevie Nicks.
Woo! Stevie Nicks.
Dude, Stevie Nicks.
I'm excited for that.
And it's in October. Isn't she like a legitimate witch?
That's what they tell me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
This is a great
spells on people.
Topic du jour, baby. We love ourselves some witches. Michael Keaton and Billie Eilish.
All in on that one.
It's a good combo. And then how about this?
He's great on Saturday Night Live.
Keaton?
Yeah.
Dude, he's funny. And then this is because this is season 50 of Saturday Night Live, so you can tell like there's no bad weeks, at least on paper. Because then you have John Mulaney and Chappell Roan.
Yeah,
that's pretty serious.
Good. She's on a heater right now, huh?
Listen to a lot of Chappell Roan in this house.
You know, I take pictures of this kid who nobody really knows at Boston Calling. Next thing you know, she's on a rocket ship.
People saw that. They're like, I saw her on Ryan Davey photo. And the next thing
credit to Mac. So credit to Mac from the Mac and Goop podcast, who was like, you need to be here early tomorrow.
And you know what you said?
He was right. Yeah.
And you were. And thankfully,
and I was. Thankfully. Yeah.
What's the fucking song? Pink Pony Horse?
Pink Pony Club?
Pink Pony Club. They play like 8 spins a day in this house. You got Cece singing it up and down the hallway. It's unreal. Game of Thrones, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms is yet another prequel spinoff that is coming to HBO Max in 2025. It'll tell the story of Dunk and Egg, and it'll be 6 episodes. I think I'm in on this.
I mean, I kind of have to be, right? The Thrones boys, we have to ride again.
Oh, we will fly high in 2025 for this.
But also, this, I think I read some of the books, not all of them, but I feel like Dunk and Egg was like this weird, like they were telling the story, like someone was sitting in like a pub or something. And then like all of a sudden they started telling this story of like Dunk and Egg, and it went on for like 30 pages.
Well, forgive me, I'm going to screw up whether it's Dunk or Egg, but you remember the Targaryen who was on the Night's Watch?
Yeah.
And he was like a wise guy, but he's clearly a Targaryen.
Old guy.
White hair. Yeah, white hair.
Blind.
Yeah, blind guy, white hair, very wise.
I believe his name was Aegon.
You're right. So I think it was Aegon Targaryen, and he was up on the Night's Watch, and he's laying there, and like one of his last words is something either about Dunk or Egg, because that is his brother. So it's one of those type of things. But I get sucked right in. And even though season 2 of House of the Dragon was kind of disappointing because it was just sort of like set up, I still am like, in my head, I'm just thinking of like family trees and like sigils. And I'm like, I'm in on this. I like it. All right. You got a video game minute?
Just a quick one.
It's time for Davey's video game minute. Even if it takes more than a minute.
All right, sir.
So the video game minute now has very much become like a fuck IGN minute.
Okay, yeah, that's a good minute.
And so there's one game that just came out recently called The Plucky Squire, which people are heralding as like one of the best games of the year. So you play, it's like a Zelda kind of game.
Okay.
Where you're like this, little Link-like character, and you're doing all these things, and then you can actually jump out of the game and like into like the real world.
Oh,
interesting. And you can go like in and out of like the game. So it actually looks really, really cool. And just so Steam gave it 9 out of 10.
Okay.
Metacritic, it's an 84, which Metacritic, that's really good.
Yeah, it's high.
Eurogamer, 4.5, a lot of 9 out of 10s, like 9 out of 10s. IGN, 7.
Yeah, not for them.
Like, what the fuck? Like, what is wrong with these people?
No, I don't like. I follow them on the DORK account on Twitter, so I see their stuff pop up, and I kind of use it as sort of like, you kind of go opposite. They just have a lot of information, so I'm like, I don't want to miss anything. But when they put their reviews up, they have their little like blurb, and then they give like good shit like a 5, and then like shitty stuff like an 8, 9. It's like you can set your watch to it. So basically, you kind of go opposite with it. Yeah, I don't know.
Speaking of taking a shit, so have you seen? So PlayStation had their state of play. They showed some Silent Hill 2 footage, would look really fucking cool.
Yeah.
And I guess you're supposed to play the game with headphones because you can like hear like this atmospheric noise like all around you.
I'd be scared.
I'd be so
scared. I couldn't.
But you finally get a look at the PlayStation 5 Pro, which comes in at a cool $699.
It's a little much, a little steep,
a little much.
Yeah.
And like the specs on the thing, like it's okay, but like I don't know.
Yeah, what do I do with it? What do I get with this?
I'm trying to think. So like I'm trying to look at the specs. I don't know how many teraflops.
I need to know exactly how many teraflops it is.
So it comes with let's see, 600 gigs of storage. Like nothing really, like an SSD maybe, but like I don't know. I don't know how, like, yeah. Ultimate PlayStation experience. And when you talk about the premium product, blah, blah, all the bells and whistles, whatever. I don't even think the graphics are that much better. But like
$700.
$700, like for that price, build a PC.
Get the fuck out of here.
We haven't had one of those in a while. But like imagine like, at that point, build your own PC. Like you're spending that much money anyway.
I know. That's insane.
Yeah.
Might as well.
I would love to play my PlayStation more, but one of our fantasy or one of our dynasty people won't get his head out of his ass.
I'm so fucking mad. Have you seen my memes though that I've made?
You send him daily memes. You just won't fucking
memes.
play. We can't even give an update. Oh, I did get absolutely mollywopped by Oregon.
Yeah, you got trucked. I saw that score on there.
Couldn't do anything.
That was rough.
Couldn't do anything. Every time I threw the ball, picked. Every time they threw the ball, touchdown. Like I couldn't do anything.
Touchdown, pick, touchdown, pick, six.
Like I'm going to run 3 yards every single time. Get like a 3rd and 8 pick. Like, it's brutal.
Well, if you ran 3 yards every time, it'd be 4th and 1. You just run it again. We got an update from Ike, who hasn't played his game in a fucking week. He's at the Bills Monday Night Football game. He'll play tomorrow.
Great. Can we skip
Fuck you. Fuck you, dude. I'm getting so sick of that. I just want to play. I want to play that game all the time.
That's all I want to do. I can't get better if I don't play.
I just got into like an absolute rhythm. I unlocked like my 3rd receiver. I got pass plays for him now. So like now he's getting in on the action. And I haven't played in like a week. So I like forget what plays I was even running.
Can I tell you something embarrassing?
Back to the drawing board. Yeah.
I didn't know you could lead passes. That changed the game for me, literally, because now I know that like I'm gonna throw balls low so defenses don't catch them, or I can throw them high.
You know that you can throw heaters, and you can also throw a little lob,
but I can also, if you hold L1 and press the button, it throws high point, so you can actually throw it over linebackers. Which I just assumed the game would do anyway, but it didn't.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, Riley, what do you say we get to this?
Y'all ready for bisque?
You ready for bisque, baby? It's topic du jour time.
It is the fall. It is, it's time for cream-based soups.
Well, I'm glad you asked. It's the topic of the day. Today, it is Agatha All Along, episode 1 and 2. It is the Disney Plus MCU series, the 11th series for Disney Plus. It's a Phase 5 Marvel Cinematic experience. There will be 9 total episodes. So they're starting with 2, and then there's going to be 1 a week for, I think, 5, and then the last week right before Halloween there's going to be 2, and then that's how they're going to end. So it's going to be 9 total episodes. We'll kick it around just the first 2 episodes, but we'll start spoiler free for those who did not watch yet. So Ryan, Agatha All Along, first 2 episodes, do you like it?
I think so. I like where it's going. I feel like this is going to be, and I'm going into it not thinking that it's going to be connected really to anything else other than like WandaVision. But I kind of like that. I kind of like that it's just kind of doing its own thing. How do you feel?
Yeah, I like it too. I do. I like it so far, and I think I liked episode 2 more than episode 1. It seems like a lot of times where shows release 2 or 3 episodes, they kind of know that like the first one might not exactly suck you right in.
But I'm going to guess that the first 20 minutes of the first episode, you were all in on that.
I actually loved that, even though you knew it was going to be different, it was going to change. But like, I did like that a lot. But episode 2, I think, was more of a like, all right, here's what the show is going to be. But this was one of those ones that I don't think they had any idea this was going to be a show. WandaVision was the first Marvel Disney Plus series, and it was all that ways ago, and it was good. I think we all liked it, and then it tied into upcoming like movies and things like that. But Agatha was this sort of side character, not side character. She was a pretty major character, but wasn't, Scarlet Witch, wasn't Vision. And then you kind of forgot about her, and then they announced this like years ago. You're like, oh, they're gonna make an Agatha show, and you're like, all right, like, did they miss the window? Yeah, like, like, I don't know if it's necessary, but I like her. Like, Catherine Hahn's great. That character's great. I like witches, witchcraft, covens, witchcraft. What's not
Aubrey Plaza?
Aubrey Plaza
being weird.
Sure. Yeah. If there was any other kind, but yeah, I liked WandaVision. I wasn't wild about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I don't think that was a great movie, but I did like the WandaVision series. I like witch stuff. I like the cast, at least what we've seen so far. I thought there was decent comedy. It's not laugh out loud funny or anything, but good spookiness. I thought there's some spooky scenes and
those witches, those faceless witches in the first episode or second episode were pretty scary.
Scary. I would say they're real scary.
Yeah.
But I think there's been a little bit of a resurge. We've talked to a lot of people that are like, I'm kind of done with the MCU, or at least not done, or I just, I'm not going to watch every single thing that comes out. Where there was a stretch there where it was like TV show, movie, we're there first in line, and people are like, I'm kind of taking it easy. And I think Deadpool and Wolverine kind of kick things off again to get people kind of hopeful. I'm looking forward to the next Captain America movie. We just talked about Thunderbolts. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm interested to see where this is going to go. I don't know if you're ever going to get the highs of Infinity War Endgame. That's pretty amazing.
Maybe when Fantastic Four comes out, maybe you'll get that back a little bit.
It's got a chance. Yeah, it's maybe. Yeah. So I like at least where they're going. But the MCU shows, and we've done standalones, I think on all of them, have been really hit or miss. Like, there's a little bit of everything. That's why I say, like, you can't automatically skip it, but you certainly can't automatically say it's going to be good. Like, now Marvel is sort of a you gotta pick as you go. It's like a la carte now with Marvel.
And again, this is taking the heat that like everybody did for like the Acolyte and like others. Like, it's taking that like certain type of person is not going to like this show. It's not for them, but they insist that it is.
Oh, is it getting reviewed?
A little bit, not review bombed, but it's like
just like there's a lot of women characters.
It was like, or they like, does everyone have to be gay? Like, people are gay. It's fine.
It's fine.
Like, leave it. Just
what's the problem here?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I didn't even think about it that way, but I guess it is like a diverse cast if you want to look at it that way. But
they're witches, like they have to be.
They're fucking witches, man. All different types of witches, which I like. Tap into some witches. Like, people were like, and that was one like thing I actually didn't mind about the Acolyte. The Acolyte like turned into shit, but there was some good ideas. Witches was one of them. I was like, I'll take Night Witches, space witches. If you want to give me some MCU witches, fine. They're talking about the Scarlet Witch and all that stuff. So, like we watched Secret Invasion, for example. That was awful. That was just like a terrible show. It skip Secret Invasion. But then you also had shows like Loki, WandaVision, Hawkeye. Like you had some high end.
You also had like Falcon and Winter Soldier, which was
sucked.
Dong water.
Then you had like Moon Knight, Ms. Marvel, She-Hulk, which was all kind of like mid. Echo, like you know what I mean? Like you had some all like everywhere, like good, bad, and in the middle. And through 2 episodes, I think this is sort of looking like has the chance to be low, good, high, mid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It could surprise us. Could be
no. And again, I mean, I think it's its own thing. And I think I like the fact that I don't have, as of right now, like I don't have to be connected to this larger universe to enjoy the show. I don't need to have seen everything. WandaVision helps, obviously, but yeah, it's kind of doing its own thing, which I appreciate.
I'm in. We'll certainly circle back into a standalone once it's all over. We won't do like weekly breakdowns, but just because it came out episode 1 and 2, we'll circle back at the end. I think it's going to end right at the end of Dorktober, I believe. Before we get to spoilers for the first 2 episodes, for those who haven't seen it, I do want to say this was probably my favorite scene from episode 1.
Hold on. This is my favorite. Hold on. Her sister was a witch, right? And what was her sister? A princess. The Wicked Witch of the East, bro.
I'm gonna stab him.
You're gonna look at me and you're gonna tell me that I'm wrong? Am I wrong?
It's my favorite
she
movie.
wore a crown and she came down in a bubble, dog.
I'm not fighting with you.
Grow up, bro. Grow up.
Get educated, but
What I love about that.
Oh. Spoilers! Here come the spoilers!
What I love about that
is
the person who is yelling and screaming his head off is dead wrong.
It's usually how most arguments go. I've screamed a lot of times at people when I've been wrong, so it's fine. I
just get wronger I get, the louder I get.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to dig in on it, and that's what he did. He was just like, I'm all in. All right, so the spoilers onto the episodes here, and as Davey mentioned, the beginning of the first episode is just ripped from like Mayor of Easttown. It is just it is called Agnes of Westview, and it's just her as like a detective and her just like going through and like trying to solve these crimes, and like looks just like it. The scenes are just like it, like everything is like Mayor of Easttown.
Someone has like they have like that like Baltimore Delco accent a little bit. Some characters do.
Oh, they leaned right into it, and she was great. And it was even like it had the opening, so they had like a fake opening like credits, and it was like based on the Danish show like WandaVision or whatever. It was like
WandaVision or something like that.
And so like as you like soon figure out like these are all people inside there, because so this does go back to like the end of WandaVision, like where it really just like popped off in that season finale. You had like the 2 visions, you had like all this shit going on, but basically like Agnes or Agatha gets trapped there as Agnes, so like she's now forced to live out that trapped, like she's trapped in there. But you find out that all the people that she sees and all the different people that are in like this crime drama, this whodunit, are all people that are her neighbors and shit, and like all these people, including Aubrey Plaza, who's not a neighbor, but Aubrey Plaza shows up as like an FBI agent. And so like right away, she's the one that you can tell. And I know they already gave this away in the previews. Plus, you knew the show's gonna be about witches and not a Mayor of Easttown ripoff. But like she's the only one when she's talking to Aubrey Plaza who's just like, this is what you believe? Like she's like waiting for her to like come out, right? She's like, what? But this is okay. Like she like basically plays along, like waiting for her to figure it out. But then there's the guy that tries to steal her shit, and so that becomes a big character. She chases after this guy that's like in her
room,
and she goes out, and then Deborah Joe Rupp from
That 70s Show.
That 70s Show hits this dude with the car. She like interrogates him, but in reality, she actually like kidnapped him. But he knows everything about her, and he wants to be like, he kind of saves her from like this.
Yes.
Mind
and he wants to
prison.
take her on the witch's road.
Yes, the witch's road. And like she's like, well, we need a coven. And I was like, fuck. So then it immediately turned into a you son of a bitch, I'm in.
Right. But I will say this: the best part for me in the first 2 episodes, that song they sing is an absolute heater.
Oh, that song kicks ass. The down the witch's road or whatever.
Oh, that was awesome. It was like a sea shanty, but it was like that song kicked ass.
I literally wrote heater down when I was watching.
Did you really?
I wrote heater. Yeah, like this song's sick. Like I don't know if it's on like Spotify yet, but it should be.
But I love they absolutely crush it, and then like it doesn't work right away, and then they start like bitching at each other, like who's fucked it up.
Yeah, because she can't take somebody's power unless they use it on them.
Right.
So then she just turns and just starts insulting everybody. And she's like, fucking get power back, use it on me, and I will just take your power.
Right. And I love that cool. So you mentioned it before, there's like different types of witches, which I think is a really cool addition. So you have like a protection witch, a potions witch, an earth, like a green witch. Like, and like, I started doing a little bit of reading. Those things are actually like things. Like they have like different types of witches that do different things. So
I love that.
Yeah, it's so I love that too. And you said it's like an Ocean's 11 kind of feel.
It's a big time. You son of a bitch, I'm in. Yeah, and they weren't in, but then they were in because they blackmailed everybody. They're like everybody. Nobody was doing great. They all had reason to turn around. But I love the one lady, like the palm reader, that like doesn't know shit at first, but then knows everything, and then it's just get the fuck out of here. Like I'm not working with Agatha Harkness.
Get out of here. Yeah,
I'm not doing it with you. But they talk about the dark hold because the dark hold was like a big part in WandaVision, obviously. And then Aubrey Plaza is telling her like they're gonna send the Salem 7. They're gonna send the Salem 7. Like, I'm sorry, the what? The Salem witches, and when they show up, they're terrifying.
Oh, absolutely. Because you see one,
and then
they fan out. The multiple. Oh, they fan out. The fan out was scary.
Fan out was real scary. So you see like 7 of them, and then their faces are all fucked, and then they're trying to get in the house. And then they just like steam in because the dude's running around closing all the doors and shit. Oh, the other thing about the dude is Agatha is like reluctantly like, all right, whatever. Like you can tag along and you helped me. Like I'll help you, whatever. And she's like, all right, like what's your name? And it's distorted. You can't hear what his name is. And then there's even a scene where they're in the car together and she's like, he's telling her about himself, and that's all like distorted.
Yeah, she's like, where'd you come from? And he like tells her this whole story.
She can't
and
hear.
Then the joke is at the end, he's like, oh, it's just nice to actually have some small talk and have some like decent conversation.
Yeah.
And she didn't hear a word he said.
Yeah. So I mean, do we know what this guy's name is? I purposely didn't look anything up. Like I don't know.
I mean, I didn't look it up either. They're calling him like Teen in the credits. It's just like Teen.
Yeah, because that's what she calls him. Yeah. And then what's Aubrey Plaza? She has a name too, but I forget what she said it was. I kept waiting for. I'm like, because dude, do you remember the first one when it was
Rio?
Like,
it's Rio Vidal.
Rio Vidal. Yeah, because she was Agent Vidal when she was doing her little.
And she speaks Spanish to her.
Okay. Yeah. I was right because remember in WandaVision, every character were like Mephisto, maybe Mephisto. Yeah, gotta be Mephisto.
No, gotta be Mephisto. Has to be
probably Mephisto. Like, why else did you do it? You gotta have Mephisto in here. But so they're looking for a coven, and basically they're gonna go down this road. The door eventually appears. They open the door. They go down there. They pop their shoes off, and then they head on down this road. So that's kind of where they leave it. But I think it's a great start. Honestly, I think it's a really good start to the show. And now you have all these characters. You have like this massive team up, and I think all of them have like a good, like, I like Agatha. Agatha's a good lead character for this, and so far the other characters I kind of like, and I'm sure as this goes on we're gonna like some more and some less as it goes. But I don't know. I'm pretty excited about it just to see where it goes. They already referenced Scarlet Witch, obviously, a couple of times. They referenced the Darkhold a couple of times, but we shall see where do you think this thing is headed? Besides down the road.
It's going down the road. It's like a Wizard of Oz type deal. No, I'm not, because they said they'll go down the witch's road and ultimately you get exactly what you want. And if I know witches, I know that like what you want is not always what you get. You know, so you got to be very careful what you ask for.
Yeah, there's no chance they all get their power back. They
No.
all do get what they want. Also, the Deborah Joe Rupp character is pretty interesting so far too, because she like doesn't even know she's a witch, or like
or doesn't is pretending not to get it,
or right.
But she knows that eventually she knows the words of the song.
Yeah. By the end of it. Yeah, I agree with Jason in the chat. I like how they all hate Agatha. That's one of the best ways to like build up a character. Is just how all they're like, no, fuck you. They're like, I would not team up with you. Like they all, her past precedes her, as they say. Right. So yeah, that part is pretty cool. And so we'll see where it goes. Do you think we get any? And I'm with you. They don't need it, but do you think we get any MCU characters in this?
So there was something. So one of the things that like, when I forget which witch I think it was Lilia, the crazy witch, the palm reader.
Yeah.
She said something of like, what was the other name? And she goes, it was a heart. You just drew a black heart.
Oh yeah.
And she was like, no. It was just black ink. Like, and like, cause there's a character, Blackheart, who is Mephisto's son, who you might remember from Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance.
Oh, and who wouldn't remember that?
Yeah.
Audra in the chat saying Mrs. Hart is Rio in disguise.
I don't know about that.
Maybe. I mean, because they eventually got Mrs. Hart. So Agatha didn't want Mrs. Hart, I think. Right? Because then her name was different, right? Because that Scarlet Witch gave her one name and then she really had another name. And she's like, whatever. Like, she's like, I don't give a shit. Like, we just got to go. We have
she's calling her Agnes. She's calling her Agnes instead of Agatha.
No. Mrs. Hart did. Remember?
Oh, and she was like, you're Mrs. Hart. And she's like, no, I'm Mrs. whatever.
And then she's like, just fucking come to the party, Hart. Like, she's like, I'm not putting up with this
shit. Rio said, I'll see you at sundown. And that's when she's like trying to get her in the house. She's like, it's almost sundown. Like, you gotta come in the house. So that could be true. But the Blackheart thing is interesting.
Yeah. No, see, it could be, maybe it could be Blackheart. I wouldn't rule, but I also think that was just her being like, I don't want to see her. I'm not going to say who it is, because they're like, we need 5 people or whatever. And they're like, no, we're good. Really, because I think she thinks she's annoying and doesn't want to work with her. But anyway, let us know what you guys thought of Agatha All Along. I guess I was kind of pleasantly surprised because, when it first got announced, I wasn't like super pumped about it, but I'm like, you know what? And it's coming out at a good time. There's only a couple of other shows that I'm watching right now, including one we're about to talk about in a moment. And so this will get us through, and in perfect timing with Dorktober right here. So Agatha All Along, thoughts, dorkpodcast@gmail.com if you want to email us. And of course, hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Dork Podcast. If you are watching this live, jump on over to the other YouTube link, as we will discuss episode 1 of The Penguin. And for everybody listening on the podcast, The Penguin will be available the next night, or who knows, maybe you were a little bit late on this one and it's available right now and you can listen to them back to back. But in the meantime, Ryan promised me a million times over, you will never do another rule.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to promise you that.